I'm Tolly Plested and I use cageamateursuk.com.
Right, Cage Amateurs UK, we've got the pleasure of talking to Tolly Plested. Tolly, how you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
So you're here tonight, are you supporting people tonight? You got
Yeah, I have 2 students on the show. Hova fighting K1 and Lenny Scudder fighting semi-pro MMA.
Yeah. You've obviously, you train with Ollie Thompson.
Yeah.
You train with some big guys. It must be good for you to get, you know, that you're in the MMA circuit, you're training with UFC fighters.
Yeah, I enjoy training with bigger, stronger guys. It fills me with some confidence as well, knowing if I can put them down, then guys my own weight, it's going to be a little bit easier on the night.
Because Ollie's slightly bigger than you, is he?
Ollie's like between maybe 120 kilos and 110 kilos, depending on like season. I walk about 90 kilos, so yeah.
Right, so you're a BJJ brown belt.
Yeah, that's right.
Trained under, I just say it,
Zay Marcello, former world champion, yeah. Head of the Icon BJJ team.
That's a big achievement, brown belt. I mean, it's a tough, it's a lot, it's very hard.
Yeah, I've dedicated a lot of years to studying jiu-jitsu.
So is that your main BJJ? Is it
I compete in wrestling as well, also. Fought in kickboxing, so it's just one of the avenues that I'm known for.
You need it, I suppose, for MMA.
Definitely, I think it's essential.
You do a lot of training now as well.
Yeah, I try and train like 3 times a day coming up to a fight.
Right, okay. Do you train others as well?
Yeah, I run my own school with my business partner Paul Morgan. I run a first generation in Eastbourne.
Right, and you is it more? do you find it do you like it training the youngsters? Is it?
I really enjoy coaching. I never thought in my life growing up I was like some young lads always in and out of trouble, and I never thought I could do something maybe positive in life, and I think it's good to give back to the sport which I love, to help the youngsters. I train toddlers from the age of maybe 3 or 4 onwards.
Right.
It revolves around simple grappling techniques and games, and we have another class where we train teenagers from the age of, well, starting from the age of maybe 8 to 9 right the way to 16. Right. And we help them out build confidence, self-respect. Before, you know, I come up with the concept of junior MMA in our town, the only thing available in Little Old Eastbourne was traditional karate and stuff.
Okay.
And the training revolving around wrestling and jiu-jitsu, I believe, is what children do anyway. They play fight, they wrestle each other. Only this time we have, you know, professional coaches helping them in a safe facility.
Right.
So I think it's definitely a healthy hobby. It helps with weight loss, for the obesity problems that we're experiencing in children, the anti-bullying,
self-confidence,
all those things, and it's fun.
Have you got any fights coming up?
I recently made my national debut at CSMMA. I won in round 1 with rear naked choke, and then the weekend after I won the advanced under 90 kilos category at the Bournemouth Open in a grappling competition. So I'm in the process for the next month or 2 just concentrating on business, and the other guys now, my students.
You're a personal trainer as well, is that right?
Yeah, I'm a PT. I qualified MVQ2 and 3 gym instructor and personal trainer.
Back to the young kids that I mean, now MMA is probably important now that these young kids do start getting into it. Do you think? Because obviously it's growing in this country. Over the last 10 years, I mean, you yourself being around you know the standards has just got so high now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a positive thing for so many different reasons. I mean, if the kids grew up in school in America, they'd be studying wrestling. You know, if they're in Japan, it'd be judo. A lot of the Eastern European countries obviously compete in wrestling. We don't have anything like that in this country, and I think it's great for children, again, for all the right reasons, to look after themselves and learn to look after themselves, girls and guys.
Yeah. So you train people from
right the way. My youngest student might be just over 3 years old, to my oldest student is a 58-year-old man who still works in the security industry. I train male fighters, female fighters, right the way through from amateurs, right the way up to Ollie Thompson, who's competing in the UFC.
Yeah, he's made his debut.
Yeah, in Sydney, yeah, that's right, yeah.
good fight. Unlucky.
Yeah, unlucky. Yeah, tough guy, Sean Jordan. Yeah,
long way to go, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
For you personally, who's been important for your career? Has there been anyone that's been there from day one who's...
It's really hard because there's a few people. There's not just one person that's helped me. There's we were friends before he started competing in MMA. I was best man at his wedding. We grew up together.
World's strongest man.
Yeah, he was strongman. And it was me talking to him when he was competing in strongman about grappling and martial arts that lured him into the sport. But at the same time, he influenced me because he was just up for giving it a go, and it was his influence that made me, I want to compete in MMA too. So he's heavily influenced me. We bounce off one another. We're very competitive.
Yeah.
But also my jiu-jitsu instructor, again, Zay Marcello, he's pushed me a lot and always helped me and got me to believe in myself. My business partner takes the strain in the business. Paul Morgan, when I'm away training with the guys, he runs the school and he feels the strain too.
Yeah.
And obviously, my fiance, she puts up with a lot for me. So that's what I mean. There's lots of people that, without their help, this wouldn't be possible. Sol Gilbert also instrumental with me in the beginning, helped me, welcome to his gym, had me on his local shows. So there's no one person, there's a few, there's a handful of people that have all helped me get where I am.
We spoke to another guy last week actually who had a lot of good things to say about you and Ollie, Paul Saunders.
Oh right, yeah, I know Paul, a friend of mine.
Yeah, he says that you and Ollie he's trained with you, is that?
Yeah, he's trained more with Ollie and that, but I know Paul, we've been at his shows and we support him and stuff. And
it's good. Do you find that important now? Because MMA's growing. There's little shows scattered all over the place.
It's really important that those little shows keep going because that's where, when the fighters first start, they need the experience.
Yeah.
And without those little shows, there's nowhere for them to get the experience.
Right.
And there's a big step from small local shows to big national shows, so you need the steps in between.
Right.
So, and that's obviously filled with the inter clubs, the amateur shows, the local shows. So yeah.
Well, Dana White's recently on about starting some kind of UFC brand in England.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's good or bad for the sport?
I think anything that makes the sport more mainstream, reflects in a positive way to the public.
Right.
I think it's only a good thing.
Do you think like the Americans want to take, because we've built MMA,
we have our own scene.
We've got our own scene. Do you think the Americans just think, well, we're going to come in and just take it away from us? Do you think there's some of that?
I don't think they'll ever take away what we've built or what we've got here. And the UFC is, at the top, the number one. I think they can only add for that. And for athletes that compete in the sport, at the top level in the UK, it's very hard to... We all say we're professional fighters, but we need to do other ways. It's not a professional income.
No.
And the UFC offers that. So we need them. If the guys want to make a proper living, have a nice house, provide for their families, a lot of the smaller shows, the bigger shows obviously in the UK, it's not enough money in itself.
No, it's a nice community at the moment though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
You come here, everyone sort of knows each other.
Yeah. It's a friend of a friend.
Yeah. We've been introduced to you from Gary Bond. I'm sure he's introduced you to a lot of people.
Yeah, he has, Gary, yeah.
My last question was, I just wanted to say if you wanted to thank anyone, but I think mostly you answered that kind of in the second to last question.
Yeah, I've sort of said the people that have helped me out. There's lots of people, obviously, all my teammates at First Generation, students, members, loved ones, my family, Zay and Janjina, obviously, the guys at ZT, my friends as well, that I travel there and still train with those guys. And obviously, everyone that's made this journey possible.
What's next for Tolly?
I try and take one step at a time, but presently I'm focusing on the UC MMA scene.
Yeah, that's because they're the big...
Yeah, that's what, I've always set my sights on for the time being. It was the route that a few of my friends of Turk and teammates again, Ollie, David Lee, Sol Gilbert when it was back in the Cage Rage days. So for me, that's what I'm challenging myself with at the moment.
Did Ollie Thompson, did he have a lot of pressure on him because he was the world's strongest man, and it's the same kind of situation with Brock Lesnar in the UFC.
Yeah.
He was a wrestler, he's kind of gone to was it pressure for Ollie? Because obviously...
I think, to be honest, we played on it a lot. For people who weren't in the know with how Ollie trained and stuff, a lot of people had him down for just a big, strong guy.
Right.
And
same as Lesnar.
yeah, big, strong guy and
yeah.
with no real skills. But the difference between Ollie, yes, he is a big, strong guy, one of the strongest in this country. Whereas he was open-minded enough to learn the techniques that, you know, are essential and make up MMA. And I think everyone sort of underestimated him.
Well, because he's been in with some big names as well in this country. I mean, he didn't really. His first couple of fights, they weren't against nobodies, were they?
No, I mean, he was fighting Rob Broughton, I think, within the first year and a half that he started training.
That's
like, for people who don't know Ollie, I mean, he's only sort of trained maybe 3 years and competed for the same length of time, really. And Rob Broughton, I remember when I was a lot younger watching Cage Rage and him beating guys there and winning the belt. And I mean, Ollie, after a year and a half of training, is fighting these guys and going the distance as well.
Right.
So yeah, he's done a lot in a short period of time.
Brilliant. Whereas other people like yourself, you've been around a long time.
Yeah. I like to take things a little bit more tactically, and there's other things. It's harder at my weight category as well. Welterweight, middleweight, there's a lot more competition than there is the heavier weight category.
Right. Is Tolly going to be around a long time? That's what we want to know.
I hope so. I think so. Yeah, no, definitely. I think I found my calling really with MMA, whether it's coaching or competing. So yeah, this
you've
is
got
what
your business.
Yeah.
You've got your fight career now.
Yeah.
You've got your training, what you're doing for others.
Yeah.
I mean, your life's probably, is it where you picture yourself being at your age?
Yeah, definitely, probably better. If someone told me, I'm 30 now, if someone told me when I was back at school I'd be making a living off fighting and teaching others how to fight, I would have said they're crazy. So
yeah, it's funny how it goes.
Yeah, I often have conversations with my family and old friends like, people pay me money to fight now and to teach them. But no, it's good. I'm really happy with my life. I'm content. I've recently got engaged.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. So everything's going really well, and my life feels really settled, so I'm ready to push on with my fight career.
And your mum, is she?
No, my mum's cool.
She get nervous, because a lot of fighters respect to their mums don't like.
My mum gets nervous, but at the same time, she really enjoys it. I use her as sort of inspiration, and my family when I'm at my fights, and they're there supporting me. My mum, for the first few, never wanted to go until eventually I think my sister talked her into it. And I have the mentality as if my family's there, there's no way someone's stopping me on the night. Everything my mum's been through with me as growing up as a child, I come from a single parent family. I remember my mum walking me to school in the pushchair with my little sister and me walking, and it's nice for me to. I use that for strength, and so when I compete, there's no way someone's stopping me in front of my mum.
You said when you was at school.
Yeah.
You didn't think that you'd be fighting and stuff like that. Was you bullied at school or anything?
I was bullied at school, not too badly. I was bullied at school and a little bit by my stepfather growing up. I was never really aggressive or violent, anything like that didn't interest me until sort of the first year of secondary school, and my life started changing. Obviously, it's a big step from primary school to secondary school. I found it really hard. I didn't have an older brother or sister like some of my friends, so I was easy pickings. Yeah, easy pickings for some of the bullies. But it took me a year or two till I started sticking up for myself. And
was you big when you was young?
No, I was always very slight. I was a very skinny kid. I was one of the smallest in my year.
Right.
But yeah, I used that to motivate myself to train, which I think a lot of guys do.
It's a good experience.
Yeah.
Like now for kids, not I won't say necessarily kids are getting bullied, but to do MMA just because not to fight, but for confidence.
It is a confidence thing. Like when some of the parents bring their kids in and inquire about the classes, and they say that obviously their children's being bullied, they want something. A lot of the time, the training gives the child the confidence that he's rolling around every day, competing, falling up, standing back up. He's interacting with lots of kids, some bigger and tougher than him, and he's taking it and he's enjoying it. So next time he's in the corridor and the school bully chooses to push him over or make a gesture, have the confidence to say, go away, or whatever it is. And half the time, I believe if you can say to the bully, you know, go away, or I'm going to tell the teacher or whatever, if you can stand there and be confident, they'll move on to someone else. It will never come to actually any physical sort of contact.
Right, you got any fights coming up?
I have a few fights planned, but nothing's confirmed yet.
It's the same in MMA, isn't it? It's like last minute sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so I hope to fight at the end of summer, but like I said, that needs to be confirmed.
Well, Tolly, thanks for doing this interview.
No worries,
it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, buddy.
Great
Cheers.
to hear some of your stories about music and stuff like that. And at least you can relax and enjoy tonight without having to get in the ring.